My name is Lauren Bobo. I'm a dancer, a dance teacher, and a yogi.
And
I started dancing when I was a freshman in high school. I had tried like every sport that my mother could come up with, and none of them stuck, or I was either really bad at them. So then my first 2 years of dance were at Atlanta Ballet, and I was 14 and 15 in a class of like elementary school kids and 6th graders, so that was cool.
that's much more exciting. I want y'all's entrance to be like, yeah, so up, behind the head, this one weaves to go sideways, yeah. Yeah.
I danced through high school and I was like, oh, I like this. I'm kind of good at it, I guess. I'm gonna stick with it. So I stuck with it. I love teaching dance. I teach dance primarily to pretty much anybody that's under like 2nd grade and under is what I have most of my experience with, and they're a special breed of little people. It's definitely the best part of my week, always, no matter what's going on in my life, coming in and like being able to talk to them and see their eyes light up when they get something or get excited about the simplest thing, as simple as like, you know, a basic tendu, and they're like, oh my gosh, I did it great this time, or being able to balance a second longer, or figuring out where to put their arms, and you know, they live for it, and it's so much fun to be able to see that excitement and that like drive and that joy in like a small person's eyes, and it's cool to be able to be a part of it and pass down, you know, this body of knowledge kind of thing. Almost a year ago now, I started a relationship with this guy, and turned out to be super toxic and emotionally like abusive and manipulative, and it was not a fun time. But anyways, so this piece for me is kind of like spawns from that, and kind of acts as a catharsis of all of that emotion, and figuring out how to shed that like layer of shame of why didn't I get out of this, why couldn't I see it, why didn't I have more power in it, kind of thing. But it's also trying to like glorify and bring light to the idea of like this global sisterhood that just being a woman happens to put you in. It's like the idea that you go into a bar bathroom and everybody is your best friend, and if you need anything, you just go, oh my gosh, I need X, Y, and Z, and someone's gonna be like, oh my God, honey, here you go, da 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 da, you know. And it's just like, if everybody could act that way all the time, I think a lot of the world's problems would go away. A global sisterhood that no matter where you go, women are always going to have the same basic experiences together, and you can always be unified in that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get across, I guess. My mom always did yoga, so it was just kind of like a thing around our house. But then I really, really got into it when things were tough for our family when I was a junior, senior in high school. And it kind of hit me in a weird way, and I developed a lot of anxiety and a little bit of like an eating disorder. And at first that was kind of my sneaky way of working and sweating out all the time, and then it kind of saved me in the sense that it made me, you know, start to feel more grounded and connected with my body on a deeper level. Utilize that breath and that whole spirituality aspect of it, and be able to purge emotional things on the mat, and be able to have like that separation in your mind of like leave it on your mat or check it at the door, and all those phrases that all yoga teachers use. I think they definitely both challenge each other, like in mindset, and in practice, but they also complement each other in that like you have to be on stage for certain styles of dance this effortless, strong being, but to like make it look like it's easy almost. But then yoga also has this aspect where it helps me remember that effort is also beautiful, and it has a place, and it helps me bring that into my dancing, which makes it more realistic and more approachable to an audience. But it also, at the same time, they both remind me that you don't need to be perfect, but you just need to, I guess, be proud of every step that you make. Going to yoga helps like justify being okay with where I'm at every day when I go into the studio.